Hello guys, NautoA. So this is going to be a lost vlog, and the reason is the topic I'm going to be talking about is the situation again with Philip. So you know who the guy is, you know his history, you know what he did in IGN in 2018. So here's the gist of the situation. He decided to upload a video giving his quote unquote honest original review of Dead Cell. Of course, you know what happened when he was doing that in 2018 with IGN. And there was a lot of controversy, which is no shocker. Every time he pops in the internet, you know things get crazy. And Ryan McCraffy of IGN actually kind of had a knee-jerk reaction. But I love this in the past. And the reason it's a lost vlog, because like I said, it's in the past. But I also want to give my thoughts on the situation that everybody knows that Philip is a bad guy here. No matter what, he plagiarized. Everybody knows that. However, with a situation like this, it's kind of fortunate that it made Philip look like he was in the better ground than Ryan McCraffy, because the response, knee-jerky, it may be understandable, frustration. You know, again, you know what Philip did. Yeah, it wasn't too good, to a point that Ryan McCraffy had to delete his Twitter posts, and I want to give my thoughts about that. Hello guys, Nato Ace here, and I want to give my thought not about Philip reviewing a game that got him in trouble at IGN. No, but the whole concept of plagiarism. Why is it so bad? Why is it considered a cardinal sin? Plus, why is it unforgivable and that he can't be redeemed for this situation, and why people hate him? So, first of all, for people who don't know what I'm talking about, in August of 2018, Filip M reviewed Dead Cell for the first time. Unfortunately, his review was straight out plagiarized by a YouTuber by the name of Boomstick Gaming of Dead Cell. And yes, in my main showcase channel, I actually did a showcase of Dead Cell, and I can see why it's good, dedicated to Boomstick Gaming there. So if you have a chance, check that out. I mean, for people who don't know what Dead Cell is, but it's a fun game, I can see why. So with that said, I did also give my thoughts about the whole plagiarism, how it's just, well, he screwed his career. That chances of him going to be in the field of creativity, including journalism, it's gone. Like, that's it. So anyway, plagiarism, it's bad. The reason is one, it's the trust. First of all, it shows your level of competence, your confidence as well. That why do you need someone else's work, pass it to be your work, just to what? Just to prove that you can do it because IGN was too hard? Or are you afraid that you might lose your job at IGN, so you just need something? I mean, why do it in the first place? I mean, everybody knows that you shouldn't plagiarize. So it's trust. And like I said before, it ruins a lot of people's reputation. Like in IGN, I mean, yeah, some people still, as of right now, they keep saying, well, IGN's a plagiarist, because if you heard, IGN Brazil kind of use someone else's like materials without crediting the original creator, and they're trying to make it as their own, and yeah, it was stupid, and you know, it was dumb. Yeah, so that's gonna see why it's already bad, because they trying to connect it with, oh, IGN copy people's stuff. Again, today, no, they just hired somebody that's a pure renegade. They didn't know about it. That's why they're. So that's why it's bad. So why people can't forgive him? Because again, it's a cardinal sin. It's like, are you taking a shortcut? I thought you worked so hard. I mean, did you go to college? Did you learn? I mean, when he does when he does editing on his videos, they're good. Like, they're better than mine. I don't get that. But again, I mean, is he good at reviewing games? I don't know. Why did he take the job, knowing that's probably not what he wanted to do? And that's according to the Spawncast crew. again, they said he thought he was just going to do videos, but nope, he was doing something else. And they're like, oh boy. And I mean, I really talked about it already a long time ago. So links in the description box about those. So that's why plagiarism is bad. Trust kind of show that you're not really that good. Plus, it actually reflects on the other employees to some extent because you do represent the company there. So what am I talking about this and why plagiarism is bad? Because the same also why it's bad is people will never forgive you. They're not going to let you forget it. I mean, they almost did because it was already something that's in the past. But when he decided to re-review that's plus even jabbing himself, making references that he screwed up, even in the end trying to do the pity card, it didn't really redeem. I mean, it's not really redeemable. So, I mean, what can you say? I mean, he screwed up. But what happened here that unfortunately I have to go here, and that is there was a controversy a bit with Ryan McCraffy from IGN. And what happened was, okay, so Filip, he did his review again with Dead Cell, and somebody on Twitter, I guess another IGN employee said, hey, guess what? Filip reviewed Dead Cell. Ryan said, no way, some colorful way. And then he replied to Filip's review on Twitter, and he just said the F word. I'm like, oh no, man. Ryan, don't go here. It's embarrassing. So he did go there. And the sad part with that one is, even so, probably that you can say, well, Ryan's a good guy because he got screwed. With this certain situation, Filip just looked like he was the good guy. It sucks. But again, that knee-jerk reaction, again, understandable why, because they trusted Filip. But this is what happened. He shouldn't have done that. He should just kept his mouth shut, in my opinion, and not say anything about it. Because again, as of right now, Ryan McCraffy still works at IGN, so he represents IGN. So when he said the F word, guess what Filip did? He took the high road, took that advantage, took that fuel, added more fuel to the fire, and said, you know what? All I'm doing is I'm just trying to redeem myself, which is, of course, you can't redeem yourself. When you got caught plagiarizing stuff, that's it, you're done. But anyway, he's like, hey, I'm just trying to redeem myself. I'm not doing anything wrong anymore. I know I screwed up. Again, you did screw up, but it's a cardinal sin. It's just that bad. Yes, it's not murder bad, but it's still that bad that it did affect society. That's why. But again, he was a good guy. He sounded like the good guy, even so he's not. Because Ryan knee-jerk reaction. And then from what I heard, that he actually did a follow-up. But again, I'm like, oh no, man, please don't. And yeah, but the whole situation, yeah, they made Filip like a good guy. Like he had the higher ground. Again, like I said, I hate to say it, but in this particular situation, Filip was in an advantage to a point that Ryan McCraffy had to delete those tweets. However, again, it's in the internet. And of course, one of the rules of the internet is the internet never forgets. So unfortunately, even so, me also as well, I understand why Ryan did it. It showed like a side of him that, whoa, this is what Ryan does. I mean, a lot of people, of course, believe it or not, including myself, sometimes it's more than meets the eye. But at the same time, you kind of not show that dark side of yourself unless it's deemed really necessary. But mostly, we kind of keep that in a private side, off the camera, off whatever. But again, I understand why Ryan did it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you probably should just ignore it rather than attack him, because I know you're frustrated. But again, yeah. But the also question is, should Filip really review Dead Cell again? What was the point of it? What was the end game? For me personally, I think he probably shouldn't. It was a waste of time, because no matter what he does, it's a plagiarist. I mean, that's not going to go away. Like, he screwed up. He screwed the pooch. He shouldn't have even done it in the first place, but again, it is. So, with that situation, my thoughts, yeah, plagiarism is bad no matter what. I mean, they do tell you in high school don't do it, especially in college. They tell you not to do it for good reason. Okay, granted, to some extent, maybe in high school, believe it or not, personally, in my high school, I had teachers that that required us to do a paper. And then the funny part in one of my class, half of my class didn't do the paper. I guess later again, you're in high school, teenager, you get an idea. To a point, even the professor, the teacher said, you could just copy it from the book or whatever, and I'll just give you credit. So yeah, I mean, to some extent, believe it or not, he's a supporter a lot of teachers, and hopefully not this time of age, but when I was still in high school, like in 1995, 1996, whatever, is that yeah, sometimes teachers like they don't care about reading papers. They don't even read papers like what you do. They just say, "Oh well, you did something. Okay, well, I'll give you credit," because it is what it is. I mean, they should, but to some extent, they don't. Are they lazy? Maybe. Maybe they just don't have enough time. They just said whatever. But when you're a college professor, that's a different story because you are required to do that. That's why here's another thing for people who are going to college and can understand about why plagiarism is wrong. First of all, again, don't do it in college. You get expelled. But another thing about when writing a paper is that all these professors, they follow one rule, the 10 error rule. So what is that? If your paper has a minimum of 10 error, even if it's the same error, even if it's within the first two sentences, your paper's an automatic F. That's it. It's an automatic F. It's done. Because they're not going to waste their time redeeming your paper. If you can't even do a decent writing, whatever, then why bother going to college? I mean, why bother learning how to write if you can't even do it right? I mean, that's the whole point. You're learning, but to some extent, hey, look. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, there's a reason why sometimes it's plagiarism, they don't really enforce it that much. Because in high school, you think if he teaches, like, what, 20 to 25 students per period, like 6 periods, I mean, in 1995, and then they have to read paper, yeah, they're not going to have time. I mean, reality is like a lot of these teachers don't get paid much, and yeah, I mean when it comes to college, yeah, you get paid more, but you got to do more work, so they have to required to read paper, and they have to follow that again 10 minimum error limitation. And if they deem your paper you're just plagiarizing someone, then you get expelled. That's how it goes. So gonna keep that in mind of why plagiarism is bad there and how it is very, very critical that you don't do it again. So yeah, plagiarism is bad. My thoughts on Ryan McCaffrey, basically knee trigger reaction to Filip. Not a good idea. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be on Ryan now. Like, even so, he's winning the right. He's the good guy in this situation. It was a knee-jerk reaction. I know he hated Filip, but he probably should just kept his mouth shut, not acknowledge Filip. But, he did. I mean, I know I'm doing the same thing. I know a lot of people did the same thing also. But like I said, it's not about Filip in this one. It's more of understanding the whole situation. So before I close this, one more thing. So a lot of people I noticed said, did Filip ever apologize for his mistake? He did in April of 2019. And on the previous, because it was just a sort of a lost vlog, so I didn't really talk much about it. So I'm going to expand on that one. And that is that, yes, he did apologize, and he gave a weird reason why he didn't do it at first glance when he got fired. Because according to Filip, his trusted friends told him not to say anything about this whole situation and don't apologize. Let's see what happens let it all play out and see what happened. Yeah, that's not a good idea, and look what happened now. You screwed up. Like, you plagiarized, there is nothing you can do about it. You can't defend that. You probably should have said, you should have apologized from the get-go. You should have apologized to Boomstick from the get-go that you screwed up. But, his friend said, don't apologize. Again, I don't know what were they thinking, but yeah, I don't know. Oh boy, so that's my thoughts on the whole situation of plagiarism, why it's bad. Filip did apologize, but because probably he said his trusted friend, he didn't agree after a while, like, yeah, this is not working. And the deal with Ryan, all like I said, I think Ryan was like in here he was the hero or the good guy. However, in the situation, he looked like he was a bad guy. I mean, it sucks. It's just he should just ignore Filip altogether than saying something. And as for Filip reviewing Dead Cell, all I can say is why? Why? So with that, I'll see you guys later.